Hello everyone and welcome back to Russell's Movie Reviews, the show where I review stuff that's mostly pretty good and maybe one of the best movies of all time, or a film that absolutely sucks and should remain in the depths of hell. Now last time in our Gamera marathon, I discussed Gamera vs. Gauss, and today we're discussing the final film in the Volume 1 pack, which is Gamera vs. Virus, which came out on March 20th of 1968. Now, again, like the previous film, I haven't seen this film before starting this marathon, so this was the first time I was watching this, and oh boy, this is a significant step down from the previous two films. Not saying that this is a bad film in general, but it's clearly obvious, like, why it's so cheap when you start looking up just basic information, like what the budget was and stuff like that. So, and when I say that, some of the things I mentioned start kind of making sense. But before I mention that, let's go over the plot, since I want to actually do the plot and mention some points about it before I mention the budget. So, anyway, let's get on to the plot. So, a spaceship arrives, approaches Earth, but Gamera stops it. But before it's destroyed, it sends out an alien broadcast warning its home planet and states that Gamera is their number one enemy. Anyways, back on Earth, two Boy Scouts are at an aquarium and try out the two-man submarine when they encounter Gamera and race him. But another aircraft lands on Earth and envelops both Gamera and the submarine in in some sort of force field kind of thing. Gamera lets the sub escape and is soon freed when the force field fades away. Unfortunately, the boys are soon captured and taken aboard the spacecraft while the aliens take control of Gamera through a mind controlling device. It is up to the two Boy Scouts to try and save Gamera as well as the rest of the world. Now, um, I feel like that if this had. Actually, no, I'm going to save that point for a little bit later. But I think the plot is. It's good, but it's kind of going back to just a generic giant monster flick where the previous two films kind of had this the monster stuff was kind of in the background while the human level, the human plot was up front and center, which you know some some films, as I mentioned, with Destroy All Monsters, it doesn't really work, but with the second and third Gamera films, they really work out a lot. But this one goes back to the standard monster formula where it's really just focused on the monsters and doesn't really focus on the humans, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Um, but there's a few things about this film that kind of bug me and kind of make me realize that, oh yeah, this is kind of the point where the series starts going downhill a lot. Um, One thing I want to mention right now is the Kennys, because there's more than one in this film. Like in the previous films, it was one, which was fine, and now there's two. Luckily, these Kennys are. I mean, this is the first time that you hear them constantly yell or scream Gamera, and that gets irritating very quickly. But that's grandly only near the end of the film, so that's not that bad. But the thing that really that kind of makes it a little bit tolerable than, for example, in Gamera vs. Giran, where they're actually like children, is that these Kennys are teenagers. They're like, well, I wouldn't say teenagers, but they're about 10 to 12 years old. So, they're a lot more intelligent than honestly any other Kenny that was before this and that would could not come after. They're very intelligent for a kid their age, which I honestly kind of like. I like that they're kind of smart and grandly. It's always funny to kind of say like, oh yeah, these aliens in this film were outsmarted by two tweens. Uh, but uh, yeah, so it's kind of funny to kind of think about that, but it is it's probably the if I had to guess, probably the last kind of tolerable Gamera film that I could honestly watch. But Um, but yeah, I don't think it's a bad film. I just think that some points kind of bring it down a notch. That kind of makes me. If I was gonna rank this, I would probably rank them. I'd probably rank this below the first three films, definitely. But yeah, kind of the Kennys. I mean, yeah, like I said, they're not bad, but they're still screaming like Gamera during the last act of the film, and it starts getting really annoying real fast. But don't worry, it's gonna get a lot worse in the next film. The other thing which kind of bugs me about this film is, um, I mean, this is where I'm gonna bring up the budget. So, this film, because as I said, the aliens take control of Gamera by mind controlling him. And the way that they do it is while he's in the bubble, where the force field underwater, they scan his brainwaves, which basically means they have to check his memory. And that means flashback, which means that we had to go back to the previous three films to, watch and see, kind of get a recap of what the previous three films, you know, like what happened in them. Um, And I actually have a fun fact about this is that this is the first gamer film to use flashbacks from previous films to save money. And this might be the like this is like it's bad when it's over when the flashback itself is approximately 15 minutes long. And I'm only told that it gets worse as the series goes on. So, honestly, I'm freaking terrified of what's to come. Um, but I feel like that the flashback itself is fine. It's when the like when you use stock footage as a flashback, that's fine because you need footage from other films to kind of show that if you don't have the money. So that I can understand. What I don't understand is why they have to use stock footage as him destroying stuff because there's two notable things I can remember that were stock footage that was apparently supposed to be happening in the film, not as a flashback. So there's one where Gamera attacks a dam, and I can immediately tell that um it's from a previous film because the costume between this film and the film and the shot or the scene that it is it's different. It's from Gamera versus Baragon because I remember that I didn't mention this in the Baragon review that the suit that Gamera the Gamera suit in that film he looks pissed like he looks angry whereas the from Gauss onwards he looks a lot more like his eyelids are a lot more visible, they're a lot more open, whereas I don't know about the first one but I know especially about the second one his like the he has like a line or like a brim kind of like around his eyes, so he looks pissed off. So that's why I was like, okay, that's stock footage. That's from the second film. But the one that really pissed me off was after that they command him to go and attack Tokyo, and they use stock footage from the original film. Now I wouldn't have a problem with it if it wasn't for the fact that they didn't even colorize it. They didn't even try to make it more color. They just put in the original footage, black and white, into the film. And it's such like, what the fuck? I mean, and yes, grandly, they did put a scene like in the flashback when he comes out of the ice. But that one, I could try and say that like, oh, that one looks like color because like it's slightly bluish. So that one I could kind of like, I mean, yeah, I could still tell it was black and white. But that one I could say like it's kind of looking blue. This the shot the scenes of him trampling through Tokyo, they weren't even trying. They was like, oh fuck it, let's just put the scenes in from the first film into the film. We're not even gonna colorize it. Just fuck it because we're running out of money. And this was because apparently Daiei, who was the company that was making all the Gamera films at the time, they were going through financial troubles. So I don't know exactly what the original budget was for this film, but they cut it down to 20 million, which is 20 million less than the original film. So that's like, that's just showing you that they kind of had no choice. So that's why I don't diss it that much, because I can understand why, but it's still painful to watch. So it's just like, oh, you were right there. You didn't have to use it, but you did it anyway. And oh, it it's painful. So, um, um, it was like I said, this film isn't bad. It's just that certain parts about it make me cringe. That makes me not put it as high as the original three. So, um, yeah. Um, I'm trying to think of other things to talk about because I don't want to make this video super short. Um, this was I forgot the actor's name, and if I did, I probably would most likely butcher it. But he appeared in I think the first four Gamera films, because I know he appeared in Baragon. I forgot which role he was. I know he played like the construction leader in Gauss, and then this film he plays like the Boy Scout leader, and this was apparently his final role in the series. Um, I don't know why he didn't come back for any of the other films. I don't know if it was a money issue, or he just didn't want to be a part of the Gamera series anymore. But yeah, this was his final role. Um, he might have appeared in the first film, but again, I don't know. So yeah. Um, I guess really the only thing to really talk about is the final fight, which is it's all right. It's not bad, but it's certainly not on par with like the Baragon or Gauss fights. Um, because besides stock footage, he doesn't. Gamera doesn't really fight the monster until like literally the last fight of the film. Like he only attacks, the spaceship in like the new footage, not stock footage. So yeah, he really doesn't. You don't really see him attack that much, but the final fight is fine. It is um certain parts about it kind of it was like certain parts I managed to like pick out from it, like, oh, that was interesting, or oh, that was kind of ooh, like the monster virus is sort of like this squid like creature that has a like a it kind of has like I guess not tentacles, but has like these little things on top that like he can kind of fold into one and make it into like a spear kind of thing, and he rams Gamera, and he actually impales him, and then like he keeps on like doing like getting him and like impaling him, um, and then like he does like a final time, and then this part always makes me laugh that he flies up, or Gamera flies up so high that he makes Virus basically freeze. Like I literally looked at that and I was like, I was laughing, but at the same time I was like, how that is that like correct? um, but yeah, so like he raises him up and then starts like spinning him. Or no. He flies him up. He starts like Virus basically freezes up, and then Gamera flips like because he's upside down, so he flips over. So now he's straight, and he starts spinning like super crazy, and it makes him just fall, and Virus crashes into the ocean and basically just disintegrates. Um, and so yeah, I guess final thoughts on Gamera versus Virus. This is, as I said earlier, this is the first Gamera film to start using stock footage, and it's really obvious. but it's gonna be a lot worse when we get to Gamera versus Giran, because I know that film starts using flashbacks a lot. Um, and I think the plot is fine. It's just that the flashbacks and the Kennys kind of bring it down a notch. So I'm gonna give this film a rank below the previous three films. I'm gonna give it a B minus. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Stay tuned for Monday, where I'm going to be reviewing Gamera versus Giran. You can click over here to click on my beautiful face to go to my channel, or click down at my name below. And make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell icon to get notified when future videos are coming out. And you can click over here to click on the previous two Gamera videos. Also, make sure to check out my Instagram, my Facebook, my Twitter, in my Twitch page, which are all gonna be down in the description below, and will also be on the uh will also be on my homepage as well. And you can also check out my reaction channel, which I know we haven't posted anything on that in a while. We do plan on getting that upload schedule back up at some point soon, so don't worry. We're still gonna be making content for that channel. It's just that we kind of just need a little bit of a break. So, uh, hopefully, sometime relatively soon, we can start getting the videos back up again. So, you can also check out that channel on my homepage. So, anyway, guys, go and check out my channel. Check out these other two videos over here. And stay tuned for Monday for the Gamera versus Giran video. And stay tuned for Saturday or Sunday, where I'm going to be doing a updated room tour. Probably. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that video. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. And stay tuned for probably Monday for the Gearin episode. So yeah, live long and prosper. Yeah.